Hello and welcome back to another day in the arena. It's me, it's CGB. Today in the arena we're going to play a standard event with Esper Control. This was recorded while I was camping in the top 100 in Mythic as the season wound down. This is the last of such videos, so we'll be launching onto the new season's ladder tomorrow. Before we dive completely into this Esper Control pile, I want to let people know about something going on YouTube. I played more Paper Commander on MTG Nerd Girls channel. So if you head over to MTG Nerd Girls channel, you can find Playing Commander with Covert, Go Blue, and Friends. Look at that sweet intro slide. I play Sidisi, the mono black 5-mana tutor exploiter Sidisi. So it's a mono black commander deck, and it does some pretty powerful things, and I had a really good time making this particular video. So if you like seeing me do evil things to my friends, you'll probably enjoy this video, so make sure to check it out on MTG Nerd Girls channel. If I'm really on my game, I'll put a link in a comment below or something like that, but sometimes I forget. Anyway, check that out. It's actually I felt kind of weird that the paper game that I got to share, the first one I got to share on this channel, I was the first to die. Thanks, Ben, my so-called friend. But in this one, I get to light things up a little bit before the end comes. So I think you'll really enjoy it if you like seeing my nonsense and want to see it in a paper setting versus my friends and other content creators. It's fun. Anyway, Esper Control. We're doing Esper Control today. So, what's Esper about this? I don't see any Esper Control. It looks all black and blue. Yeah, there's some Vanishing Verse hidden here. Good 2-mana Doomblade type effect, an exile effect, one of the best 2-mana removal spells that you can play. Worth the splash, in my opinion, and Path of Peril. This is a new card. It is 1 black to destroy all creatures with mana value 2 or less, or you can pay a cleave cost of 4 and a white and a black. That white mana just sneaks in there, comes out of nowhere. And then it will destroy all creatures. So you have a very expensive Wrath, or you have a very cheap Wrath if the opponent goes super wide really fast, which should be good against some of the starts that mono white is very capable of, especially the Clarion Spirit version. Path of Peril might be exactly what we need to keep them off of our back. The rest of the deck is made up of ways to control the board and ways to win the game. As far as those win cons go, we've got Hullbreaker Horror, Leer. That's kind of it. 1 Hullbreaker Horror, 1 Leer, and 1 Hall of the Storm Giants. We also have 4 Divide by Zeros and Mascot Exhibition in the sideboard. If that seems like a pretty thin count of win cons, you're right, it is. But we have 4 copies of Siphon Insight to potentially take win cons from the opponent's deck if you actually get to cast all of these on each side. That's 8 looks at 16 cards for things that could win the game. Haven't had any trouble closing games so far. You know me, I like a minimalistic approach to win cons. And then we have 4 copies of Memory Deluge. That goes through the deck, finds the card you need, and you go on to win the game. You'd be amazed how many games you can win with 1 Hullbreaker Horror and 1 Leer. It's actually not very difficult because these cards are so inevitable at the end of the day. They're absolutely brutal. We have a bunch of one-ups scattered through the deck to help us solve various problems that we'll come up against. A single copy of Washaway, a single copy of Test of Talents. While these don't synergize well with Leer, there's only 1 Leer in the deck, so that problem isn't going to come up very often. There's 1 Infernal Grasp and 1 Power Word Kill to add to our 4 Vanishing Verse for a lot of cheap ways to kill creatures. There's 3 Meat Hook Massacres, which you can combine with Divide by Zero and Hullbreaker Horror to cast over and over again. So that definitely made the list for me. 1 Soul Shatter and 1 Go Blank as some ways to attack the hand and graveyard, some ways to keep dragons away from you, as well as kill planeswalkers. 2 copies of Dread Fugue, the new discard effect. It's not quite duress, and one thing that you'll find is that Dread Fugue, when you cast it from the graveyard, you cannot cleave it. By the way, to read it, it's 1 black for target player reveals a hand, you choose a non-land card with mana value 2 or less, that player discards the card. And for 3 mana, the cleave cost, they reveal their hand and they discard any non-land card. So it's really good against aggro decks because you often disrupt their curve a little bit, whereas duress is normally terrible against aggro decks. But it's more expensive, 3 mana to cast if you want to disrupt the more expensive like Izzet decks. Still, Dread Fugue often hits against those decks, and the main reason why is Shatterskull Smashing, Spikefield Hazard, Jwari Disruption. It's almost a 1-mana land destruction card, and I've won some games by just taking their only source of blue mana, the Jwari Disruption, in their hand. And that my friends, is satisfying. We're going to be playing in a standard event. Like I said before, it's the 7-win challenge. What I love about this deck is I get to play the kind of game I like to play. Minimum win cons, lots of card draw, nice long games, plenty of torture. What you'll see in this game, some serious comebacks. Back against the wall, chips down. Will you capture this moment or let it slip? Mom spaghetti, we fight back. You'll also see a turn 3 victory. And don't you worry, it's the very first game. You want to see that. And what you won't see are a couple of the games. I cut both some wins and some losses because the video was running really long, and yesterday's video ran really long. I hope you trust me to curate it to show you the elite, best of the best. And now, let's dive in. Let the nonsense begin. Game 2. They can't all be snow-based mid-range Planeswalker decks. We'll probably have much tougher matchups at some point. Cool hand. Covers a lot of bases. Is it? If I'm playing this on white, I need this on black to cast Path. Although it doesn't look like I'll have to, you never know when they might actually be some kind of a stupid Delver deck. Smoldering Egg and a Mountain. I guess Egg is a problem for them, but they can just bounce it with Divide by Zero, which is something you have to be super aware of in this matchup. So the lands are pretty safe bets, and the counter spells are what we really want. It's one of their key cards. Let's just get it. Oh, you don't like that, is it? You don't like that? Did that make you sad? And we play on Weak-Minded Izzet Mage. It can't all be that easy, right? We can't just always win with a test of talents in that spot. Lame Rage. Should have been the last player's name. Alright. No. Oh, we do have white. Okay, we can keep. We can keep completely unafraid. Although we don't really need it. I think we want to fugue them on 1. If we fugue them on 1, then this will probably get played on blue to cast Siphon. That's okay. We don't need the white mana right now. What you got? Alright, 2 Eye Twitches and a Vanishing Verse. 1 Eye Twitch gone. This should be another decent matchup. It would be nice to draw a Vanishing Verse, though, and just exile this Eye Twitch. I mean, are you that lame of rage that you would rope me because I turn 1 Dread Fugued 1 of your 2 Eye Twitches? That would indeed be lame rage. That would be living up 100% to your name. We mute because of the bat. I just can't stand the squeaks that this thing puts out. It's the worst pet ever. Alright. We'll start robbing them. Hopefully hit some sweet planeswalkers. Yeah. Good job. They have something else they could play here. What is it? We might just have a Village Rites. Nope. Let's just take the land. There's the Vanishing Verse, unfortunately. We might dig a white up from their library, though. We'll see. You got me. A damage for you. I will siphon more insight. Hey, a white source. But this lets me draw 2. This is better. We do need to play it around removal and be a little careful, though. Yeah, that's your land. Yeah, yeah. Thank you. It's really nice. Edgar. There's a good window for the Fellstinger. Let's go ahead and bounce the Edgar. Let's go and get the environmental sciences. People have really like gravitated to playing this card in this deck. I'm still kind of blown away by that. I don't feel like it's that good, but people seem to disagree. People seem to like it. So many cards. Stop hissing at me, Grandpa. Insert generic vampire sound effect. Multicolored. Oh yeah, that's how cards work. Do we just take the bump so we can memory deluge? I don't think so. If we had another white, we could reduce the memory. That wouldn't be bad. Well, we have so many divides. Let's just go ahead and grab the reduce to memory. We'll solve the mana issue at some point. Novice Occultist. Alright, when it dies, you draw a card. Skullport Merchant. Sure. Goodbye, Skullport Merchant. Or would we rather exile it? I'd rather exile these. The cool thing about fetching reduce is they can see it. And if they can see it, they're scared of it. So that's why they didn't replay the Edgar. Let's chill. Hopefully we'll get to divide and deluge here. I'm not in a rush to Vanishing versus these creatures. We'll get around to it. Just in case they have a Deadly Dispute, this is the safe way. Alright, so they have 5 cards in hand. We're about to have 6. They have a Blood in the Snow. Let's just get let's get an intro. Intro's a good filler. We'll get teachings later. We did draw all 4 divide by zeros. I'm sure the opponent's going to enjoy that. Sure. We've got exile effects. This is fine. And we got the treasure out of them. There's another white source, and there is a siphon. Pretty good. So we can Dread Fugue their Vanishing Verse on the cheap, or we can just 3-mana this. Cleave it. Cleave is the word. And this frustrating Edgar can go away. It didn't even get divided by 0 for the 4th time. Sad. Sunset Revelry. This draws them a card. That's all it does. Got some interesting card choices in their version of Blood Money. Poking every graveyard for reasons nobody knows. Let's exile one of these. But let's not reveal the other divide by the other Vanishing Verse yet, because they might, I hope, they try to Bloodthirst their own creature. If they Bloodchief's Thirst their own Eye Twitch, like to get something, that would be a blowout. They still might do it. Let's go with the Insight. Hello? They do have the Vanishing Verse. So let's wait. We can probably get more tempo and action out of Lolth if we're patient. We have this Memory Deluge and the Siphon Insight to flash back to get further ahead. The hits just keep on coming. All right, let's go like this. Hello? And what else? The hook seems really good. Let's just say go, because Verse is an instant that can protect the horror. Oh, they like playing careful magic, don't they? They like counting all the lands. Figuring out all the possibilities. Sure. Another card for you. A land. Just take it. Just be patient. A little patience and we can't lose. We're also going to play around Infernal Grasp and not flash back anything or cast anything. Alright, so there is the Verse. So if they have a second Verse, they get rid of this, but then we play the Lolth, I guess. Zap this, bounce this. Or Insight. Let's Insight. Alright. Take the Shatter. They did not have a second removal spell. So we know that this is not an instant speed removal spell. Let's just keep chilling. All right, and they drew Haven. Down to 7. But should be fine. And now we've untapped with this card. Yay. Boing. Nice. Boing. Well, we could attack, but let's just hold back. Let them try to attack with the 3/2 and the Haven. Something like that. The Soul Shatter might bail us out against the Haven. Like if they cast Bloodchief's Thirst here. Oh, they tap the Haven. Okay. Yeah, I guess that works, right? No, because we have to bounce this to our own hand. Kill it. Now it's Teachings time. Kraken pose. Demon's Disciple. There's one you didn't expect to see, but we have the answer. Yay, cards. Let's keep it instant speed around here. Eye twitch. You got it. They thought everything through, and they came up with eye twitch. Let's see what your plan entails. Uh-huh. Uh-huh. Wrecked by your own soul shatter. Ugh. You might call that soul shattering. If they hadn't played the eye twitch first, I guess we'd just cast the soul shatter anyway. It was just kind of a waste of mana. Okay, they came up with a vanishing verse. Bounce the verse. I'll take this and this. Good luck beating those. Anything else? I mean, they're trying. I know they're trying, but man, we're just tearing them to pieces. Why not? Show them their own little...
Darkness my will cannot be denied.
So, blood on the snow, or what? I mean, it's face up, right? We can flashback Deluge or Siphon Insight to bump it. Okay, they're going for the meat hook. Gosh, they are trying. They're so feisty. Right. So, you die. Dude, going for the 4-0 on Esper Control. Nice. Cherry. Cherry baby. Cherry baby. You're welcome. 3 drops. Kind of slow. A little nervous. Don't have any sweepers. This is probably where we fight mono white. But we're on the play. Sometimes you just gotta believe. In general, land sequencing for the deck, open on black when you can. It lets you play either Siphon Insight or Vanishing Verse off the top. Alright, no creature. Pew pew. Get this cast, then the opponent will resolve something. I think what I'm supposed to do is divide by 0 into Memory Deluge into whatever comes next. I might even be cycling this. It's not very good here. Wrong matchup. In fact, this is probably like one of the worst matchups because our Path to Peril isn't great. Our, oh, didn't do anything. Cool. Let's get a second blue out there. Path of Peril isn't great, and Meat Hook isn't great until we get to having a lot of mana. But we're on our way there. I wonder about that Infernal Grasp. Should I have been holding that? There aren't a lot of ways for me to kill Chariots. I guess I have Vanishing Verse. And they have to be worried about counterspells here. Apparently they have no concern whatsoever about counterspells. I think we go for Reduce. Reduce can turn the chariot into a creature, and then a Path to Peril can kill it all. So, like, if the opponent resolves a chariot here and we deluge into a Path of Peril, then we can cast Path of Reduce on the chariot, then Path to sweep the board. They probably have multiple chariots, though. They did slam that pretty, you know, like, Devil Will Care. They just slammed that card. Usually means there's more. I also have to remember to play this on white if we're going to run that line, because it takes double black and double white. And they drew another untapped land, which I don't think they had before because they played the Lair, but who knows. No Path of Peril, but we do get Vanishing Verse and Meathook Massacre. Those also clean up the situation. We got Chatty Cathy over there. Too bad we already used our Divide by Zero. We'll need another way to get the Meathook back if we want to spam Meathooks. It's still 20 to 20, but don't get comfortable. Green can run downhill really fast. Like, they're really good at just getting a little bit of an edge where they get to attack with 1 or 2 creatures and then beating you to death. Alright, let's exile this in response to avoid a Snakeskin Veil. It's a good draw. Let's see what they discard. Probably should have played that on blue. I forgot I had double white from these. If they have a Veil, they're probably not going to keep it. Maybe they would. They discard a Troll and an Adversary. Let's see what they do. I might Deluge this turn and try to set up for getting around a Veil. Yeah, if they reach for Lair here, but leave up exactly 1 green mana, that's very telling. They do not leave up the green mana. Okay. So, what do we do? I think we exile the Lair and reduce the Troll. Divide on the Troll is pretty good. They'll have 2 cards in hand. So I guess we can get Sciences and hit a land drop, but I think I'd rather Deluge. Let's just Deluge now. See what we hit. It's too much white. I guess I only have 2 blue, so it has to be this way. Then maybe I'm supposed to do this. Take 8. God, that's scary. Alright, we'll do this instead. Not the greatest turn I've ever had, for sure. But now I have a blocker for this Haven. Our opponent's last card probably isn't a Blizzard Brawl. I don't think that's something they'd hold in that spot. And they probably just drew that land, so they shouldn't have one. If they held a Blizzard Brawl against a control deck after that Go Blank and discarded 2 creatures, that's crazy talk. They held another Chariot. That makes sense. All right, we've got to find Path to Peril or something. Another divide by 0. We already used a reduce to memory, huh? Well, let's do this first. See what we hit. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. Oh, man. Pass turn, see what they do. Like, I might be canceling this chariot. Or if I bounce this chariot and they play it again, then I really have to Path of Peril. So that doesn't sound great. Let's see how they play it. We just have to get this horror down next turn, and then untap with the best possible battlefield. Interesting. So, let's try to bounce the chariot here. They do, they won't want to attack with Haven. They'll want to recast this. So that can save us some damage. And let's just keep some kind of a cheap spell here. So I guess intro to go with the horror. Oh, they attack with Haven anyway? Okay. Interesting. If they have a way to pump it, that's fine. They still don't get to recast the chariot. Okay. So if they power up Haven and we block that with the horror, then we take 8. And untap in a pretty good spot. Path of Peril kills the cats. Bounces the troll. Alright, they're going for this. Sure. Nothing like manual taps in that spot. Do you have another land? Like, what are you doing? I think we play around Blizzard Brawl here. The way to play around Blizzard Brawl is to block the cat. That way, these can deal 5. They can't deal 6. Could also bounce the chariot. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. They can try to replay all of it, but Jwari Disruption really gets them. Okay. It's kind of leading them right into a Jwari here. Well then. None of this solves... We don't really want to blow up our own thing. We might want to blow up the cats, but none of this solves the Haven. So we have to hold this back because of Haven. You just keep touching this card, huh? The lobster dance. It's here. The lobster is here. What you gonna do about it? Green especially. Like, what can they do about it? They've got to kill you first. Yep. Yep. And troll? Would you like to play a troll as 2? Doesn't play the troll. Big brain. Let's do it again. This is fun. I'm having fun. Are you having fun? Oh, we're gonna Veil? Okay. We're gonna Veil. Well, now it's a creature, but that doesn't really change anything. This is fine. Let's get your Veil played, that's fine. What else you got? What else have you got? Really? We're going in. You got a plan? Or you just want to try to hurt me? Do you really want to hurt me? This does not play around Blizzard Brawl. But I'm guessing I can win anyway with the leftovers. I mean, that was face up. They had to know that was coming. Or not. Maybe they didn't have to know. Maybe we're supposed to give them the oops, huh? I don't know. What are we supposed to do here? You want some of this? You want a little of that? Oh god. Seems good. Go ahead, play some green cards. What are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? You're going one-on-one with the great one, Lear, and the RKO machine itself, Hullbreaker Horror, so... I can't counter it, but I can bounce it. Why not? What? Oh, is the game over? Really? You think so? Okay. This Go Blank was gonna be saucy. 4-0. Even money dance, even money dance, even money dance, 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 dance. Lobster pose. Continue. Funny how having one Hullbreaker Horror in the deck, it still wins most of the games. What a stupid card, right? Oh my goodness. Card is insane. 7 mana, win the game. Sure. Let's dance. Is it? I don't know, is it? Nom. Sure. Siphon Insight in the house. So we have a choice of Path of Peril or the Massacre. Getting the Massacre down might help us in the future. So they're off to the races with good cards. And this is a tough matchup. Siphon Insight needs to hit some goodies. Divide by Zero needs to keep them from really popping off. Really, they're gonna do it again. What a machine. Ooh, that's good. Nothing but answers so far. Our opponents with all the threats, we've had all the answers. Okay. They do not quit, do they? Well. Well, well, well. You got anything? You got nothing. Do we let them play one more card? Let's go blank them. If they don't have a Jwari, we would have seen it. All right, a Horror and a Hazard. Nice. And their last card, Unexpected Windfall and Unexpected Windfall. Makes sense. Of course it is. And their last card is probably Consider and Hullbreaker Horror. Alright, so they have one card in hand. If we draw a playable here, we can also Teachings. And that would be nice. But I can't be sure that's what's going to happen. But I guess eventually they'll have more cards than me anyway, in theory. Other options include hitting our land drop, getting set up for the Horror, and Intro to Prophecy to try to find a better card. I guess if we're not sure, the Prophecy is not a bad idea. But we do have a Horror on tap. Let's go with the Sciences. Oh, God, we know that they're going to be Windfalling next turn. So that makes that pretty tough. It would be nice to find, like, Test of Talents here. Okay. Deluge. I guess we'll hold that till they put that on the stack, but then we don't have enough blue. Let's do this. No, if we hit a Dread Fugue, we can't play it. Okay, we'll wait. Make them put this on the stack. All right, it's on the stack. Not great. Not great. I guess I'll grab the untapped lands. And... wow. Nice job. All right, what's our play? We could bring out the Horror, but they're going to Windfall next turn, which is really bad for us. They're not going to attack into this anyway. I need one more mana to be able to Hullbreaker Horror and Siphon inside a Windfall. Since I can't do that, I should try to find a way to remove this thing. Beautiful. Very interesting game so far, guys. Could still go a lot of ways. We've got them on nothing, but all they have to do is draw a Leer and they have everything. They draw land. They do have a Scryland, and they do have a Field of Ruin. If they scry in response, they don't get to affect their draw later, but they do get to try to keep me from getting a good card. And effective. All right, the Jwari does pair well with the Horror here. But man, am I afraid of a Divide by Zero. I am so scared of a Divide by Zero. Don't good game. It's your Horror. All you have to do, because, all right, if they find any way to interact with it, I bounce it to their hand. But I don't think they knew that. They just straight up scooped to it. But it was their Horror. It's a much riskier play. Okay. But we got the win. All right, back against the wall. Gotta pull this off. I do not like going 5-0 into 2 straight losses, especially 2 what I would consider very bad losses. So hopefully the luck will get back on our side. Here's a few cards that we haven't drawn at all in the last 2 games. Path of Peril and Wash Away. Would have been awesome in the last game to draw Wash Away. Let's chill. We might counter something here. Let that be. More fodder for Path of Peril. Uh-huh. Can't seem to draw the white source, can we? Oh, there's a chance they just power up the Haven here. That would be a disaster. I hope this still hits something. Okay, hits the Brawl. Oh my god, look at this. But none of that is castable. If they don't draw the right land. So let's make them do it. Let's make them top deck an untapped land. It's gonna be that kind of day, I guess. We can't get a white source. But they can top deck perfect. Okay. Sure. Kind of want them to go for the Haven. Alright, they go for that. Still a chance we can draw a white source here. Then we can verse the Oddity and shatter the Haven. Probably the worst draw in the deck. I'm glad they didn't go for the Haven. I know they get to put down a troll, but Haven would have been so much pressure. I guess it still is, but it still gives us this chance to draw this white source. And we did. Hanging in there. We might still pull this off. Okay. Brawl. Complete with a Blizzard Brawl. Man, did they just burn that. Divide by 0. What could we get? Sciences? Are we better off with Siphon Insight? Are they going to draw Snakeskin Veil and blow me out? I mean, we already know they play Oddity. Okay. Cool. Very cool. Let's go. Free 4/4s. They're giving away 4/4s, baby. Uh-huh. You have a way to give it trample or what? 14. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Ooh. Interesting choice going with the Haven, not replaying the Troll. Oh, you have the mana. You can replay the Troll. Alright, and that'll be an 8/8. So close, though. I guess my Kraken doesn't ambush anything, but I just need to make a few blocks to stay alive, right? Chump, block, and then we swing back. And 7 plus 4 plus 4, 15. 4? Oh, why are we doing this? Why are we doing this? What are you doing? Okay. Right down to the wire, even through the fire. Weird. We go to 1. Whew. Whew. Get my breath. Holy crap, what a battle. All right. Final boss. No black mana. 2 sweepers, no black mana. Okay. Better, closer, warmer. Are we getting to aggro or not? I'm gonna put him on aggro. That's what we're gonna do. We could also put away the white card. If we put away the white card, then we can play this on blue, this on black, and then on black and have no mana problems. I'm gonna do that. Den of the Bugbear. What do you got? Shattered Skull Smashing, Infernal Grasp, Reckless Stormseeker, Immersturm Predator. Oh god, it's some kind of a mid-range deck. But our Path of Peril's no good. We're gonna Stone Rain him a little, though. Our Path of Peril doesn't hit anything for a really long time, but these Divide by Zeros are money. We have to not lose to the Stormseeker, though. And they have to draw a land. They did it. And they're actually Jund. So they were down a color. And they kept anyway. They kept anyway and they got there. So red and green, the mana doesn't help us in any way. I don't know what Valentin does for us, though. I can't think it's very good. So I'm going to take the land. Just to not miss land. Okay. Pretty nasty. But they'll probably go for a Predator here, and then we can divide by 0. Take 3. Bounce Stormseeker, get Sciences, get white mana, nuke the Predator. Oh, we can't nuke the Predator. God, why do I always forget this? We'll hook the Predator. It's fine. All part of my plan. Totally part of my plan. I don't know how we're gonna hook it, actually. It's gonna keep getting these counters. Okay, alright. Kind of embarrassing myself here. I guess we bounce it, then we hook it. We're getting Florian now? Good God. Very embarrassing. It's already nighttime. And they don't even go for the Stormseeker. Interesting. Don't know if I'm supposed to bounce it right there. They might not replay it. They've got 5 cards in hand, though. Why didn't it leave mana open for Verse? What a silly game. I'm just gonna cycle my path. Not doing anything. I really want them to replay the Predator. I guess I need to draw land if they do that to hook. Alright, Kalane. Oh, now their Predator is gonna be too big. Good lord. I cannot buy one right now. Alright. It is daytime. Let's go ahead and get this. They should sacrifice the Florian as well so I don't get a life. But we really needed that land. We needed... No, that wouldn't have done too much. Okay. What a weird deck. Alright, what do I need? Path of Peril does it, so I need an untapped land again. We've been pretty mana screwed this game. There we go. So we have to divide here, peril that. Okay, and then we still are going to take some damage. Sequencing matter? I guess it does. The opponent can play this, give it haste. They could go for Den here. That would be awesome, actually. They go for Stormseeker. They have a land. They have untapped land, Moonveil Regent. Good lord. Alright, so we can hook a lot of stuff here. And then the Den is coming back at us. God, their draw's good. Okay. I don't know what's good here. I guess I'll grab this. It feels like we're dead, but we do have the meat hook. So while they can power up Den, they can't also play the Predator. And we gain this life, so we're barely alive. I can't even... Like, I cannot stomach this draw. It's so good. Ugh, that's a rough ending to this event. Like, everything about our draw was awkward. Everything about theirs was perfect. Ah, this makes me angry. We tried. Alright. Wrap. Path of Peril is terrible. It's actively terrible. It never comes up when you need it. We only played mono white once. They triple one dropped us and we didn't have it. And you never cast it for 6. Because casting it for 6 is certain. And I mean certain doom. It's really bad. I recommend it not even a little. And because of that, I don't recommend the White Splash. We saw Vanishing Verse was terrible in the final game. Vanishing Verse kind of got me just a bunch of times with its monocolored permanentness, where Infernal Grasp and Power Word Kill wouldn't. This deck shouldn't have white mana. You should cut the Esperness completely. Just run Meathook Massacres, maybe a Shadow's Verdict and a Crippling Fear, and play Dimir Control. That's my recommendation for the deck going forward. It was a pretty sweet 5-0 to start, but the deck's weaknesses, and I think a little bit of my basic tilt playing Magic lately, my dissatisfaction with the meta, hurt me down the stretch. Maybe you'll do better. But, I mean, one thing I do love is Memory Deluge, and of course any kind of a control deck with Divide by Zero, Meathook Massacre, a bunch of nice spot removal spells. It still brings me a lot of joy overall. But the White Splash, absolutely, I think was a failure in this deck. So, I wouldn't run that. But thank you for watching this video, and as always, I'll see you in the next video. You're cool.